Hi everyone and welcome to episode 4 of the Shift Handover. We're your hosts, myself, Dan Sharp.
And myself, Mark Smith.
And today we have an incredible treat for you all. Bournemouth's #1 DJ, all the way from Britain's Got Talent, Mr. Alan Turner Ward.
Woo! How we doing?
Yeah, it's great having you here, man.
It's
Fantastic.
great to be here. So this is about security?
Yes. Yeah.
I'll show up for anything, seriously. So this is about welding. Yeah, I'll come on the podcast, no problem.
Yeah, no. He's a cheap date. He's a cheap date. No, on a serious note, it is brilliant to have you here. We're producing this channel to try and get a positive image of security out there. So why we got you on, I don't know.
I couldn't agree with you more. But like I said, I'll show up anyway. Do you know what's interesting though? There isn't another security podcast, so you have actually hit on something, which is quite clever. Still don't understand why you're having me on.
Okay, so we'll answer that question for you. So you've worked at different venues, nightclubs, events, stuff like that. Security will always be present where there's a DJ. Well, there should be. Anyway. There should be. So I guess the main question we want to ask you is, from a DJ's perspective, what do you want from your security when you turn up to a venue, an event?
I think this might sound quite silly. I think politeness is a massive thing. It's not just about broad and intimidation. I think a lot of it's about, because really you're the first person that the customer meets. You know, and even John Lennon, you know, he used to hate security because he said they always got the women, even over the Beatles. He said,
I didn't know
he
that.
said the security meet them first, don't they?
Yeah,
Wish that was still the case.
Yeah. Oh, shut up, Dan.
That's not going.
That's not going innocent. Mr. Innocent.
There's no edits here, so be careful.
That's not going in the edit.
No, I think it's really important. I think it's almost like you've got someone just making sure, it's almost a validation, isn't it? That you know the place is safe when you've got good security there. And it sometimes can intimidate the place if you've got bad security. I've seen some security, I'm not going to name names, but we know that, no, Mark's a phenomenal security guy. I will say that. But you both are. You're both really good. And it's like, I've worked with both of you, but I've also worked with some that are, I've enjoyed their company, don't get me wrong, but they've been so intimidating to the customers that people don't come back. So that's a huge thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say something kind of weird here. I think if the vibrancy is correct in a place, security is not even that much necessary. You know what I mean? I think, like, I don't have security at, say, got a thing called Sunday Fun Day over at Rick Stein's on Sundays, every Sunday. It's 6 o'clock until 9 every Sunday evening. Come on down and it's free entry, no security. But the vibrancy is so good, I actually think there's not been any need for any. But I think security should be helping create that vibrancy that is safe, not an intimidating thing that says, right, if your name's not Dan, you're not coming in.
It's interesting you say that, because we were talking about that, and I said to Dan, I said, a lot of time, very good security can become a victim of our own success. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you've got 2 security or 3 security, and you do a very, very good job. It's so smooth, consistent, there's no issues. And then eventually you get, do you know what? We don't have any issues here. We might cut it down to 2. Or we might go for the dreaded one-man door.
The dreaded one-man door, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Is that a saying within the system?
But if you'd had...
And there's a lot of dreaded one-man doors, aren't there?
This is my point.
If you'd have watched our last episode, you'd know.
Right.
when you watch it, we talk about it a lot. But do you know what I'm saying? So you're absolutely right. You know, that blending in, keeping it right, the vibrancy. Whereas if you have a lot of issues, suddenly you're like, we need extra security.
Yeah.
So you can become a victim of your own success.
It's also when they're getting too relaxed, suddenly there might be some, I don't know, I've definitely seen it in the 90s, where suddenly they're drinking. You know, suddenly they're relaxing a bit more, and they're really enjoying. I've seen it in other countries, and it's very complacent, I suppose, is the word. Isn't
Awful.
It?
And it's a mind-altering substance.
But complacency is dangerous in every form of career path, really, isn't it? Everything, even politics or acting or whatever. You suddenly think, well, I'm there, I'm done. That's the moment you've got to watch out.
Yeah.
Because then there's always someone to either steal your place or to take advantage of your place, which would be the security thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to know, Alan, you've been doing this a long time, pubs and clubs and stuff. have you actually been assaulted, or have you ever had a situation you've been assaulted and security have like really, saved you, pulled you out of a situation, or?
I had one situation in Wimborne where 5 women jumped on me, and I did get on the mic, and the security just laughed. I said, "Can you get these girls off me? They're really annoying," because they were trying to grab the mic and they were touching the decks and everything like that. And that was in a weird way harder because they were women.
Yeah.
Because what can you do? You can't push them away.
Absolutely.
So that's a really tough situation. I've been really fortunate.
Yeah.
I've been in some weird scenarios and I've seen stuff happen, but I am very, very fortunate that I've never needed security. But it could come down to that same thing, because I've always respected the security.
Yeah.
The security have respected me. We've worked together. When you have the energy correct in the room,
absolutely,
then it doesn't even need to kick off in the first place.
Yeah,
Because anybody that wants to cause drama kind of can feel that this is a bad place to do this.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, no, I agree. How do you find? So all those years in the industry, the same as us, how do you find the pub and club scene is at the moment on a point of the social, societal, how the people's behaviour is? I mean, I know pubs and clubs are getting harder and harder. Cost of living, overheads. How do you find the clientele? They're getting worse. They're getting better behaved.
I think the world at the moment is becoming a really, sadly, there's a lot of anger out there at the moment.
Yes,
there's a lot, but I think the anger comes from confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've got a weird mindset that the Chinese say chaos creates opportunity. So I kind of look at this time where, well, okay, when that's falling apart, that means we can get in that door.
Yeah.
A bit like you with acting at the moment.
Absolutely.
I actually think I'm really proud of you with what you're doing with your acting.
Yeah.
But I could totally see that suddenly there's going to be an opportunity that opens up and you're like, oh, hang on, I'm suddenly on EastEnders or something like that. Because everything's just falling apart. Yeah. But things are always still rolling. Yes. Things are still going. It's not like humanity is dying. And even with AI, it's like AI is actually really exciting if you know how to use it correctly. But if you just say it's awful and we've got to get away from it, then that's not good either. But I do think, like, getting back to your original question, I do think at the moment people more than ever care less about pretentiousness, and when they're going out at night they want to have a good time. Full stop. They don't care about whether it's cool anymore. They don't care whether it's which is good for me. I've never been cooler at 50. I've just turned 50 and I'm like, actually I'm working more now than I did in my 30s.
Brilliant.
Because I was never part of the whole cool DJ crew. I always had my own unique. I was always at 80s and disco and fun. I was always about bringing a good vibe and making sure everyone feels included. I think that's what people want right now. But they also want that from their security.
Absolutely.
They want their security to be good evening. I mean, it's a simple thing, isn't it? Eye contact, handshakes, make you feel important when you walk in the room.
Yes.
And I think if there's a grumpy security guy on the door, you could actually set a tone before they've even.
I agree.
Before they've got to the bar.
Yeah.
You know, the same goes for the bar staff as well. Actually.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. But I think that is one thing that needs a lot of work at the moment. But there are people that are working at the moment. There's some things where there's little niches. It's almost like communities at the moment are being built, and the communities is where people are having fun. But people want community and they want friendliness at the moment. I think that's what people are really searching for.
I agree.
Yeah, no.
I agree.
So when you turn up to a venue, say it's your first time playing at a gig at that venue, and you meet the head doorman or you meet the security, what can present as a good first impression? What can present as a negative first impression? What fills you with confidence, jeopardy?
Getting back to that original thing, I think just the eye contact and the handshakes, it's really good. You know, even seeing you guys on the door is really nice. It's smiles, isn't it? There's no reason to be.
Absolutely.
I mean, if you came and go, right, we're going to do this security podcast, all right, and you're going to come in and talk about DJing, all right?
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay.
Yeah.
How long have we got? Okay, I want to leave.
Yeah, you know? That's right.
So I think it's vital. I think good security. I mean, it's funny. There's some places like, are we allowed to mention spots?
So our rule for this channel is that we don't name and shame the negative, but if you're praising, then you can name away.
Well, there's some places I have. Well, okay. So do you know Camel Bar in Old Christchurch Road? Now that guy Tarek, I think he's got a brilliant formula going on with his security, and he's had it going on probably for 25 years. Yeah. And you go in there at whatever time. So obviously DJs and securities, when we go for a drink, a lot of the time it's in the time when everybody's been drinking all night, but we're then starting in a sense. But I feel so safe when I go in there because I know that he's got all these people that he's brought with him from like Tunisia and Egypt and from different countries. But to watch it, it's almost like a little army he's got there. But they're so friendly, but they're also tight with each other. And I haven't seen a community of security like that many times. Let's put it that way.
And actually, we touched on this in previous episodes, and I'm really, really, really happy to hear you say that, because we were questioning whether or not that still takes place.
Yeah, we were, because we've been around a long time, but we're not necessarily very heavy in the scene now.
Yeah.
But and we actually said, is there any teams out there that are very, very tight? So you've just answered the question.
Not only are they tight, they've got the legacy as well. I've been living in England properly now 12 years because I was living in Los Angeles quite a while, and then I was in Dubai, and so I properly came back to Bournemouth 12 years ago. And actually one of my first DJ gigs when I came back was at Camel Bar.
Wow.
And he's got exactly the same staff there. That's how loyal they are to him. I see that's a sign of a good leader.
Massively, yeah.
But they're all very happy, and they're not all foreign. Like there's, you must know Blue.
Yeah, is he still there?
He's still there.
Christ, he's 107.
But they're like characters as well. See, that's another role you guys have kind of got. People, you are the first personality that anybody meets. It's a form of acting. You are the first personality anybody meets.
Absolutely.
When people walk into an establishment. So if the security is wrong, you can set a really bad tone.
100%.
I mean, we've talked about Saxo a lot of the time. I mean, I was resident there for many, many years, on and off.
Yeah.
And I do still have a good friendship with, anything that was negative is now in the past there. But I remember there was a guy called Dave. I've forgotten his last name, but he was really tall.
Yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Yeah.
But either way, we had a very good. We were just really good mates.
Yeah.
We were always. But he was a one-man door.
He was, yeah.
But he was brilliant at the communication side of it. I think he worked for you, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
Okay.
Well, we provided there for a long
Dave,
time.
if you're watching.
Yeah, Dave was a good operator. It helped that he was about 8 foot tall as well.
Well, I don't think I saw him get in one scuffle.
General giant, wasn't he?
Honestly, I don't think so. But he was immensely useful. If anyone was going to even remotely give me a little bit of anything, he just stood next to me.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he was a very calming presence, wasn't he?
Very.
But you can imagine a guy of that size with a bit of an attitude, it would all go wrong, wouldn't it?
Oh, awful.
So he used his size for the right reasons.
But that shouldn't be everything, should it? It shouldn't just be about the size, because
absolutely
it
not.
should be about because it is all about the class as well. I think there's something really nice when you've got classy security, isn't there?
Yeah, definitely.
Even on a private party.
100%.
Do you do private gigs? Do you do private stuff?
I do, yeah.
I know you do.
I haven't in a long time.
No.
Not anymore.
You should. You'd be great at it.
They're my favourites.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
They're my favourites. They're the ones where you get appreciated. We did one some months ago for James Martin, the chef.
Did you really?
At Shooting Glen.
Was he cool?
Yeah, he's a lovely guy.
I'd love to meet him.
He loves his Rolexes, and it was like a Rolex sponsored event. But I like that. I like the events now, especially as I'm older. Polish your shoes, like I was saying earlier.
Yeah.
Get that shirt nicely ironed, look the part, and on the job.
He might get you on his show.
Maybe.
You never know.
I think at our stage, we've spoke about this in other episodes, and we have at our stage in our career, we can go in, we can do one weekend, or we can do one Saturday night, and we can do it well. But to ask, I'm not speaking for you, but for me, to ask me to do every Friday, Saturday consistently for a year and keep those standards high, I don't have that in me anymore. And I know I'm not an old man, but because I started security so young, I've been in it so long, and my life has gone in, I don't know.
How old are you now, Dan?
38.
38.
But I started security.
Young man, isn't he?
Yeah, but,
No, I'm just thinking because I came back to
20
England.
years in the industry,
So when
isn't
I
it?
came back from Los Angeles, so I lived in LA for years, had a visa problem, had to come home. I had nothing. This was 17 years ago. Then I went off and worked in like Dubai and Cyprus. But for about 6 months, I came back here. I was living at my mum's, and the first 6 months, the only job I could get was working in a bakehouse, Cornish bakery, pasty shop. It was a pasty shop basically. And this guy, we worked together.
We did.
He was 19.
We did.
I think you must have been 19.
did.
I've just done the math.
We
must
did.
Have, hang on,
about
38. So you were
19,
21.
Yeah, I was young.
Were you doing security then already?
I was, yeah.
So did you used to go from the bakehouse down the road to Yates's or something like that?
I would turn up on a Sunday morning after about 3 hours sleep, and the manager there would bollock me for being late.
With lipstick all over his face.
That's not making the edit.
Bad
Absolutely
boy.
not.
Give me a pasty.
He's been known as a bit of a bad boy, isn't he?
Has he?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not
Makes
at all.
out he's all shy.
Oh, no.
Never trust those. Never trust those.
But no, yeah. So this is interesting because then our paths just didn't cross for
years.
years and years and years, 15 years.
And then you were outside Saxo one day after
Yeah.
I just had an argument with the owner.
Yeah.
And I'd just broken up with some girl.
So I mean,
and I was going, I'm not going in there. And then you were like, excuse me, did you used to work at the pasty shop? And I was like, what?
So I've just started working at this new venue, and that area of Bournemouth is its own community, isn't it?
100%.
So
100%.
I was still getting to know the regulars. I wasn't really known in Chalmers at this point. I was just started working there, and all the people were telling me, "Oh yeah, there used to be this DJ here, Alan. He had a good following, but he's a difficult character." And I am
Difficult character.
You mean, is that what Magic said?
I am.
That's what Magic said.
It wasn't just Magic. I am.
Okay,
I
Magic
am-
and my ex.
I am.
It doesn't matter.
Let's just say I'm paraphrasing.
It was a long time ago now.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Oh, look.
And I'm
I'm
not,
aware I can be precious. Don't
I'm
whatever.
not going to quote word for word what people are actually saying about this man. And I'm like,
But I like the first bit. He had a good following. Look, can we
did,
just leave
yeah,
it
he
there?
did.
He's gonna
He
go
had a
with
good
that.
following.
he did. And it,
Whatever comes after that, but he probably,
Yeah,
but he was a
but he's
difficult
a-
character.
but-
Wow,
Those were not-
That's harsh.
those were not the words that we used. Let me point out.
Oh, it was said in a much harsher
Oh
way.
yeah. Anyway,
Well, it was
but-
Charminster, wasn't it?
And,
So,
and you
yeah.
know what that community is like. Yeah, everyone's got an opinion on everything, right? So I'm hearing lots of people tell me all these things about this DJ who used to work there named Alan, who I'm thinking, this guy must be an absolute tosser. And then all of a sudden, I meet this guy, and I'm like, and I'm not just saying this because you're here. I'm not just saying this to butter you up. You are one of the nicest people I've ever met.
High five.
Yeah.
Hang on, where's my wallet?
Yeah,
There you
cheers.
go.
And okay, I listen, people change, some people for the better, some people for the worse. Other people's experiences of you are their own experiences of you. I've got no judgment on that whatsoever. But from my own personal experiences of you from that time when we worked together,
Yeah.
you were always friendly, you were always happy, you're one of the most humble, pleasant people to be around. And I really enjoyed your company. So when it turned out to be you,
Oh, right, yeah.
and everyone was telling me, he's arrogant, he'll probably just not even want to talk to you or get to know you. He thinks he's bigger than Charminster because he's been on Britain's Got Talent. I'm thinking, well, that guy. and we've had this conversation off air, haven't we? How sometimes people's reputations precede them, and it's not the person you meet.
I think that-
you're a perfect example of that.
I think sometimes though, look, we've all got two personas, I
Yeah.
think, and I'm going to get a little bit deep with this, but you must see this in the security world as well. But I suppose my proper friends know that I'm actually I'm a Christian. I pray a lot. I'm really into mindfulness, and I'm really into deep spiritual chats. You know, I love politics as well. But without a doubt, ATW, the character that's behind the booth, I'm basically just best mates with everybody, but bulletproof. But I am really highly sensitive. Like I can get so upset if I hear negative stuff, or when I get like when I was on Britain's Got Talent, I got so trolled online,
Yeah, I
and
bet
it was
you
like,
did.
ugh.
I bet you did.
But I think people thought. I remember reading an article about me where they said, "Oh, the thick-skinned DJ." I was like, if only I was. I wish I was a little bit more thick-skinned, you know.
Yeah, and probably not to the level that you've received, but I imagine we've got similar experiences as well, haven't we? Especially when you've worked at the same venue for a long period of time.
I'd say Mark's definitely had it.
Yeah,
no disrespect to you.
Yeah,
having got to know you a bit more in the last couple of years,
you do.
Very similar scenario.
And I've had to make myself bulletproof. Not so much on the scale of you guys, but in that community, it's almost like it's okay if people think I'm a bit of a dick. That's okay. You're almost creating you want to be a gentleman and you want to be polite and you want to be all these things, but at the same time, what you don't want to be seen is vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Well, I think on stage, without a doubt, I'm really gobby. I'm the first to admit that, and I'm quick-witted probably on stage as well, and I am probably quite. I've watched myself back and I go, oh, Alan. Mind you, I was also unfortunate on BGT. They edit a lot of what you say. I hope you're not going to do that on here. But they did it. They did this thing, and they are naughty. I mean, I'm really grateful that I got to the semi-finals on there, but I couldn't do something like that now because But at the time, I had nothing going on in Bournemouth. I was working in a Cornish bakehouse, and I was getting the odd gig. And I was getting the odd gig from a guy called Martin the Hat, who was a local DJ, and he is an absolute legend. Do you remember a guy called James Bronson?
Yeah.
So James Bronson, when I came back from America, weirdly, I connected with James Bronson in a bar called Soho's in Westbourne. And he's another one. He was a very big bravado, fabulous, sadly passed away now, but brilliant bravado. But he was really kind to me. And he basically got in touch with Martin the Hat and said, there's this guy, he's just come back from America. Give him a chance. He's good on the mic and he does DJing, and just give him a chance. And so I would have been... I think I was 32, 33 at the time. But I mean, that was all I was getting was bits like that. And then I did Britain's Got Talent because I suddenly was seeing people like Danny Dyer and people from Towie doing DJ gigs. And I was like, well, I'm better than them, but they're getting the gig. So if I do a bit of TV, this will be good. But either way, my point is on Britain's Got Talent, there's a bit where when I was being filmed, what I said was, no one's going to say I'm an all right DJ. They're either going to say I'm awful, or they're going to say he's awesome. I said I'm very Marmite. They edited that and said,
did they?
Yeah, and what came out was no one will say he's an all right DJ. They'll say he's awesome.
Is that what they did?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Sneaky.
when I watched it back, I'm like, oh my gosh, you arrogant thing.
Wow.
You know? Yeah, that was harsh.
But
That was harsh.
one thing I will say is music, like any other art form, is subjective, right? And you may play a set. Mark might absolutely love the set you do and the music you do, and it might not be for me. Yeah, we may have different tastes. Music is a very subjective thing. In terms of a nightclub DJ, if I was owning a venue, what I would want from my DJ is the things I alluded to earlier, that following, that presence on the mic. There are DJs now who won't even get on the mic or take requests. And I'm thinking...
To be honest, I never ever have a playlist. I get there, I play a gospel tune actually at the beginning of every set I do, and kind of pray over the room a little bit and stuff like that. And I don't care. I'll say that now. I never used to. I used to think, I better not tell people I'm doing that. But I do that. And then after that, I kind of let my intuition decide where the room is going, if that makes sense. So and every night is different. Every day is a day. This goes for security as well. Every day, that person that you might have met before has had a different day to what they had the other day.
Yeah.
So they're walking into your establishment. Their mood isn't the same as it was. Might be better, might be worse. Right. You know what I mean? But it's all about just basically reading a room and knowing what the majority will want. You know, you can't please all the people all the time.
Can't.
But you can get it close. Yeah, you can get it close.
We spoke earlier about I'm not really in the scene anymore, and you kind of at the similar.
Not to what I was. No, definitely not.
Well, no, but you are. It's just different. You're doing different, it. Yeah. If you're talking like you're doing,
but there's not.
Yeah, no, I'm still doing
high class security. It's
it's different. But
in the
it's just
community.
It's just higher class.
Oh yeah. No, I do. Yeah, no, I do.
Don't stitch him up.
You just think you're better than all the others.
Oh,
I understand.
I knew that's where he was going.
Did you?
You knew that was where he was
going.
going.
I'm still very involved, but yeah, you're absolutely right. The town centre vibe. No, I'm not on that.
And
I don't do those types of gigs anymore. I will not. I still go to Charminster for a drink.
Too good for all that now, aren't you?
Yeah. What's that?
Too good for that now, aren't you?
I thought you said too old. Both.
I wonder if his face changed.
What?
But what's really interesting is that for me, a DJ is not about the music they plays on the night. It's how many people can they attract to that event, that venue, that club. And I go on my Facebook sometimes, and I don't have too many DJs on Facebook that are promoting.
Right.
You are one of the few.
I'm never not promoting.
But to me,
always closing.
To me,
always.
To me, if I own a venue, you're the first DJ I'm approaching because
Yeah.
I don't care if his music's any good or not. Not to be horrible, I don't care if your music's any good or not. But if you're bringing people in with you, they're going to put money behind my bar. That's the commodity.
I think the thing is, I was talking about this with a DJ that is a really, I don't know whether I shouldn't say his name, but either way, I really respected him as a DJ. And he said how I don't do any of that social media. And I'm like, but you, and he goes, and somehow I'm not booking any gigs.
Oh, there you go.
And he's ended up playing in a bar in Charminster, and he can't get another. And I'm like, but dude, you were one of the main DJs. He was even offered Radio 1 Extra back in the day.
Wow.
And he turned it down because he thought, no, I'm not. And now he's telling me that he doesn't mess with that stuff. And I'm like, whether you like it or not, marketing is 70. If you make a great movie...
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you tomorrow do your own independent, which I wouldn't put past you actually, you do your own independent movie, and then there's zero marketing, it can be the best movie in the world. If you've got no marketing behind it, marketing is the most, and same with this podcast, I hate to say. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it's free.
And it's free.
All this social media, so it's free.
Yeah, anybody that says, oh, I hate the way society's gone. I heard Simon Cowell saying, oh, if only they could just put a tap on the internet and finish it. Well, I know why he says that, because suddenly people aren't watching BGT the same way. People are watching someone's TikTok or they're watching whatever. So everyone's got a chance.
Yeah.
Actually, it's a very equal playing field right now. It used to be decided, one guy with a cigar decides whether you're coming through that door or not. Now, with enough momentum... and a community, you can create something really special for yourself.
Well, it's interesting, in that Michael Jackson story thing, you see the bit where he says about they want to get him on MTV. You wouldn't argue for that now, would you? Because you just make your own Instagram account, and you can be bigger than MTV viewing anyway.
In those days, if you didn't have the right people on your side, it was over.
That's it.
But now, it's not really, there's not that big dog that you need to be nice to anymore. No. There's not a big boy that's the one that's in charge that decides. That's right. But really, everybody matters.
Exactly.
Every single person coming into your bar matters. Doesn't matter what they look like, where they're from, whatever. That if that person's chosen to spend their evening at your gig or listen to your radio show or watch your podcast, then they matter as much as the CEO.
And we've already said this to our viewers that this is their community. As much as it is ours. We're going to be listening to the comment section, and we want our viewers to tell us what to talk about and what areas to discuss. But you raise a good point, because in previous episodes we've discussed the evolution of not just security but nightlife in general. I think we've touched on, and there would have been a time when social media wasn't a thing, and just like door staff, DJs, licensees, if you don't change with the times, you need to kind of maybe find something different. And there are parts of 2026 that we've spoken about that make us feel uncomfortable when we were talking about
what makes you feel uncomfortable?
Letting people in with tracksuit bombs, for example.
Oh no! Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Not that it makes me feel uncomfortable because it's necessarily wrong. It's just it wouldn't have happened back when we were current and present.
Do you know what's interesting? So I had someone that came. So there's a guy that comes to the gig. Well, he's actually a really, really good friend of mine, and he's basically a lord of a manor. So he's actually a lord. But he's the worst dressed lord in the world. Awful. Like, honestly. And he showed up at Rick Stein's. And I'll say this about you, Terry. Anyway, but Lord Terry Ambrose of Sherborne.
I hope Terry hasn't got a good barrister.
No, he's great fun. He's great fun. No, he used to be a cleaner, and somehow he married well.
Alan's saying this, not us.
No, he used to be on my radio show as a dancing cleaner. But either way, he came to my gig and he was wearing a vest with tracksuit bottoms.
Wow.
And I caught it on one of my videos that I do. So every week I try and do a little episode from Sunday Funday. And I'm going to confess something here. I said, look, the management have said you can't come in that. I was the management in that because I'm not. I don't want people dressing. I want people to look good. Don't you?
So you have the similar mindset to us.
Oh, 100%. I don't want.
But
look,
isn't it
I want everyone
interesting?
to make the best of themselves.
But isn't it interesting?
And he didn't mind, by the way. He laughed.
But we spoke about this in one of our previous episodes that actually there is a part of that where we do want high standards for our practice and our work and the places where we work.
That is so out the window at the moment.
But it's also it is also adapting to the new world that isn't our world anymore. Hence the shift handover.
It might be changing in Bournemouth a little bit now. A certain Richard Carr's got the old 1812.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I watched him the other day. He's at Sunday Funday every week.
Oh, really?
Sitting there. But I mean, I find him quite a fascinating character, I tell you what. And quite an enigma. And he's a big Trump fan as well. But it's but I saw him at 1812 on Saturday, and I loved it. It was like, once again, it's acting. He's playing the role, and he walks through the crowd. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? Yeah. He walks through the crowd, but he's wearing a great suit, stands on stage with the DJ to make sure the DJ probably hasn't got a clue how the DJ even DJs, but pretends he's overlooking it, then stands over there making sure but I'm sure he is watching, overlooking it all, but it's the mystique, and I think that's great because then it makes you don't want to show up there in your tracksuit bottoms. I'd feel so embarrassed if I was underdressed in a place like that then. But I think it'd be and the cage in the zoo back in the day or the venue, you weren't allowed in wearing trainers, let alone tracksuit bottoms.
Well, we used to provide security for him when he had Toko, Bliss and Slam.
Okay.
And Dundee's or Oyster Key when it first opened before Dundee's. And I mean his level of detail when it came to the staff and the security was exemplary. They had to be smart, they had to be on time, they had to look the part.
Really? Okay.
I mean, when he before we took over, and he had his I can't remember what the company was called, Future 3000 or something. They all had to have their logos. It was all embroidered. They had tailor-made suits at Bliss. All the security had tailor-made suits.
Tailor-made suits, especially for...
Yeah, so you can imagine what a nightmare was when one of them left or come in. Yeah. They had like a 6-man crew. They had tailor-made suits, and he bought them all.
If it was like in Charminster where they change every week.
Yeah, you just wouldn't be able to do it. So, and then, of course, if you go way back to the Tower Park, and he had those pink jackets. And
they look the business.
So when it came to the pub and club industry, he knew what he was doing. Yeah. And I always remember he used to say to me, he said, you have a 4-year window. 4-year, and then another concept comes in. Right. So he knew how to do it. And I think I think you're right. What he does, whatever he does when it comes to that industry, he nails it.
It's show business in itself, isn't it? It is, and it's fascinating to watch. I honestly, and I remember back in the day at the venue because I was in a boy band when I was 18. Hard to believe, but I used to put them together. And my first gig was it's on YouTube, but my first gig was actually at the venue. But I remember the security there were awesome.
Yeah,
they were phenomenal.
A friend of mine used to work there.
Did they? Yeah. But I remember there was a guy that was on the Gladiators.
Yeah, Phil Norman.
Yeah. Is he still going?
Yeah, he's not. He's got a Thai boxing school now.
Right. Okay.
But he was one of the good ones. He was a nice guy. Very.
But I remember it was literally Gladiators on a Saturday, and then you're going in there on a Thursday night, and he's just stood there at work, and that was another draw, wasn't it?
Yeah, of course it was.
I mean, you've got a guy that's been on the Gladiators and he's standing on your door.
Of course
Phenomenal.
Yeah, he was, because that was before Sky and all these YouTube channels.
And
BBC.
Gladiators was getting 16, as I know, because you worked with Jeff. Yeah. They were getting 16, 17 million views an episode.
Wow.
So Phil Norman, who happened to win the series and go on to the American Gladiators.
Did he go on American one?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So he was a massive name locally. He had long hair then.
He always had it in a ponytail, didn't he?
Yeah, and he was such a politely spoken, because he wasn't like really big. He was athletic.
He was a contender, wasn't
slender.
he? Yeah. So, wouldn't that be just sidebar? Imagine being the security for the backstage area of the Gladiators. How insignificant would you feel around?
I remember Lee Evans doing a bit about that with Mike Tyson. Why is he having so many security? If you're that hard, beat them up yourself.
I feel small stood next to him, so God knows how I'd feel next to Wolf, Hunter, Saracen.
I worked on the American.
I'll do my cardio guys.
I worked on American Gladiators.
Did you?
I worked on the follow-up. They did a new version, so I was the warm-up host, and Hulk Hogan hosted it, and Layla Ali, Muhammad Ali's daughter, and I worked with them every day for like 2 months. Yeah, and they were honestly lovely. So like no ego. Layla Ali gorgeous lady.
Yeah,
like, such a
beautiful.
nice person. She's a boxer as well, right?
She was undefeated. She was one of the best ever.
I saw
Right,
her
okay.
She was a pundit on.
She was.
Who was it? It was the last Fury fight, wasn't
Yeah,
it? She was
she
a pundit
was, yeah.
on there.
Yeah.
I thought it was Muhammad Ali's granddaughter.
Yeah, she's
because she
daughter.
looks, you know,
About 56 now, 57, something like that.
yeah.
Super lovely just
Yeah.
really
Yeah,
nice.
she's
You
seen
wouldn't know that.
Yeah.
I mean, if your dad's Muhammad Ali, you
I know.
give it a little
There we
bit of
go.
the big one.
Yeah,
wouldn't you?
exactly. I
But
think
yeah.
he was so good, so legendary, so great that just speaks for itself. As soon as you say it's Muhammad Layla Ali, she's kind of like,
I bet he was one to put on the rules at home, though, as well, wasn't he? Muhammad
I
Ali.
think
I
so.
bet he would have been like, no,
I
you
think
didn't say thank you.
Yeah.
I bet there was a lot of that going on.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So did you ever meet Mike O'Hearn? There was a gladiator called Titan. His name was Mike O'Hearn.
Was
You
he in
met-
the second one or was he in the
I
first
think he
one?
was the second one.
I met them all. I met
Yeah,
them all.
you'd know if you saw a picture of him.
But I'm not a massive fan. That's the
No.
stupid thing, isn't it?
No.
I'm not a massive boxing fan. I do like boxing, but I'm not a massive fan. I
Mm.
can't name people, and I wasn't a massive fan of gladiators.
Mm.
Wasn't even a massive fan of wrestling. So there I am working with Hulk Hogan. But I became a massive fan of his because
Yeah.
he was such a gentleman.
Oh, legend.
And same with her. It was just but they were all nice, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing with the gladiators. I mean, I don't know whether you know this with Shadow. Well, you definitely will. They don't get paid as much.
No,
as
they
you'd
didn't.
think.
No,
and
not
they're
at all.
getting mega exposure.
Yeah,
I mean, they're getting the
huge.
exposure of almost a Man United player,
Yeah.
but not even remotely the bank
Absolutely.
account. And it must be so difficult
Yeah.
to have that sort of exposure.
Yeah.
I mean, I can relate a tiny bit. When I did BGT, I remember you don't get paid a penny for that show. I mean, they even still owe me for one train fare.
Really?
Yeah. but I remember I came off and I couldn't, because everyone would say, oh, we can't afford him for our wedding. We can't, because he's just been
Yeah.
on BGT. And then I'd be at that bar in Charminster and people go, oh, we just got married. We were going to get you, but we know you've just been on Britain's Got Talent, so we thought we couldn't afford you. And I'm like, my gosh.
I'd have done it for 50 quid. Isn't it amazing how people's perception of someone that they don't even know or haven't even met flies around the community? You've experienced this, haven't you? We've spoken about this before. And
Yeah, I've
same with
experienced it
yourself.
a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I've had so many people tell me their opinions of Mark that's negative, and they don't even know
Yeah,
him.
me too.
Yeah. They're right. I'm joking. But all joking aside, Mark, like just like yourself, Mark is one of the most nice guys.
I'll tell you
He's
what.
he's a good bloke out there.
I'll tell you what I believe that is. That again is as soon as you step out of the norm and you do something different, positive, or you're a success of something, people can't get their heads around that. And you either align with a different type of person, or they suddenly have to go, fucking hell, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you know, like I hear what Alan does. He just does it. I just do it. You know, if I said I even remember when we were going to do the boxing classes for the kids, right? When I said about that, you'd be amazed how many people said to me, oh, waste of time. What are you going to do that for? You can't change a community. Okay, we'll do it. Nearly 2 years on, making massive difference.
Yeah.
I already knew that as soon as I started doing the acting stuff, I knew there would be people that I know very well that would be like, fuck me, now he wants to be an actor. I couldn't care less. But as soon as you shine that positivity, people have an issue with it. But what I've learned, and probably the same of you, Alan, that you just attract a new people that do appreciate it, people that do think, fair play to you, and you're making a difference. Do you know what I mean?
And you have made a difference.
People just like to be negative, don't they? And we just and I think we just rise above. We don't get bogged down by it.
I'd like to say it's a British curse because I lived in America a long time.
Yeah.
And I think one thing that was really cool when I lived in America that I miss every day was how inspiring everyone was. You know, when we live in Los Angeles, it's like everyone's got that dream, or they've either achieved their dream or they're trying to achieve a dream. And the ones that can't really dream leave quite quickly.
Yeah.
You know, and I think there's a lot of people that just don't dare to go for their dreams. So when you are doing what you're doing, what that's really doing is speaking to their insecurity, going,
That's
see,
exactly it.
you're not doing it, which makes them get angry. I've never been trolled by any successful people.
No.
That's a good point.
That's a fact.
Exactly that.
That's
Exactly
a fact.
that.
I mean, the one thing that I can honestly work out is usually most of those people that are trolling are usually unemployed or just not doing very well and don't like themselves.
So if there's
Absolutely,
any successful
mate.
people
Fact.
out there with a lot of free time on their hands, please, I'm joking.
No,
Right.
but it's amazing because there's almost a safety, because I have been like that when I was, probably because I had a hit record when I was 24 in Germany, and I really went for it in my early 20s. Suddenly it happened, and then suddenly it didn't happen, and then suddenly I was working in the Caribbean as an entertainer. Then I was working in Cyprus, Greece, Spain, Tunisia. I was a double act with Alison Hammond from This Morning,
Really?
and she, but it was brilliant. We're not there was three of us. There was three of us, but it was brilliant. I mean, but I wasn't really that grateful for it at the time. I was always wanting that next thing, and now I'm having a lot of post gratitude where I'm looking back going, I got to do the Top of the Pops in Germany. I got to do that.
Been amazing.
But then I went to America, and actually in a weird way that I was sat in a church in Lansdowne actually after doing a whole load of stuff, and I thought I had a vision that I should go to LA and just go, and because I only wanted to be in America. I just loved America, especially having worked for Disney when I was 22. But my point is, I went there, and then I did actually fail quite well. I got to work with some great people, but like I said, with Muhammad Ali and Muhammad Ali's daughter, and worked for Diddy actually, and worked for Trump, worked for all these people. But I was very much the warm-up guy, and I remember at the time not realising I'm working with world names here. I was more frustrated, so I also gained that bollocks. I don't like him, and then suddenly you meet Hulk Hogan, and he's the nicest guy you can meet, and you go, oh, this is weird. This is really weird. He's the guy you're expecting to be the horrible one.
That's right.
And same with like Layla Ali. You're expecting her to be horrible. And then they're super kind. And super encouraging. You know?
One thing I will say about you, Alan, to give you a lot of credit, is you went over to America, you came back with next to nothing. And you've built yourself up from that failure and that setback, and you've every element of success you've got today, you've got from literally ground zero. So that's a massive credit to your character.
Yeah, thank God for my mum and my stepdad, who were really helping me at the time. My stepdad even drove me. He sadly passed away 4 years ago, but he even drove me to the Cornish Bakehouse every day.
Did he?
Yeah, dude, I didn't have a car. I didn't have anything. I literally came back to England. I had about 2 friends in this town that I'd grown up with, and I'd got really religious over those years as well, and I think I freaked a lot of my schoolmates out. So, and a lot of them love them to bits, but just we couldn't. I think I generally, but that once again is another one of those things. You're out of their vibration. You're out of their. They were a solid group of lads that we were all doing the same thing all the time, and suddenly one breaks out and does something that's just not normal, and it's almost as much as breaking off and doing something bad in their world, because you're not part of their system anymore, if that makes sense. But thank you for that. That's really kind of you.
And I think it's really important to acknowledge the role a DJ has in the security of a venue. It's it's underrated, actually. How many times has there been a tension on the dance floor, a little bit, you just feel something in the air, it's like, there's a bit of a vibe in it, I don't like what it is, and then you just say to the DJ, please don't play that song, or please can you play this type of music. And if the DJ does that, changes the atmosphere, I don't know, put something on like the Grease Mega Mix if it's an older crowd, just to get that party atmosphere going. But if something a little bit more, I don't know, for Soldier Boy comes on, and you think, oh no. So actually, some DJs,
I think a DJ should know. To be fair, I think
they should.
I think a DJ should read the crowd and even listen to the crowd.
But you'd be surprised how many times there's a tension in the air, there's an atmosphere in the air, and the song you just don't want to comes on. You'd be surprised how often that happens.
Really?
And you just think, oh, have you experienced that at all?
Well, some love attitude, don't they? Some love the attitude. Some like that grime. They like that, niggle in the air.
They make it hostile.
Because it's not their problem, is it? It's our problem.
That's true.
But it is their problem.
Yeah.
Really.
And we need to work together to keep everyone safe and to make sure everyone, it's on us, not just to keep everyone safe, but also to make sure that everyone has a good time. And it's on you guys, not just to make sure everyone has a good time, but also everyone is safe. And I think once you start blending those roles and people start working together.
Working as a team.
And if I was to say to you as a DJ, can you please change the type of music? You know there's a reason why.
Yeah.
Yeah, and some DJs
I would be
just don't
somewhat
get it.
offended though if the doorman comes up to me and tells me, and I said, "No, do you want me to go and take that person out for you?" No, I think the DJ. I think if the DJ doesn't understand that situation and it happens more than once, he shouldn't probably be employed again.
Yeah,
if I'm going to be that blunt.
Yeah,
if you
I
really
agree.
can't read a room that you're actually creating a negative atmosphere rather than a positive atmosphere, then really that's not maybe go and get another job.
The type of music, and I'm not saying that there isn't a time for certain genres, there is, but the type of music at the wrong time can really be a massive problem for us.
That's why I get back to what we were talking about before. Everybody every day is having a different mood.
Yeah.
You might have similar moods. You might get a similar mood again as you did yesterday or something like that. But generally on the whole, every single day is a new day for everybody. So no day is the same as it was once before. So to have the same playlist and the same conversation at the door is absolutely pointless because they're not. It's not Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
It's a new day. So you've got to feel what's going on in the room. Now sometimes, like Soldier Boy, I don't think that's too heavy at all. If it was in the right moment, perfect, and they'll do the dance or whatever.
And that's what you just said.
House of Pain, jump around, perfect, in the right moment. But if you play it at the wrong moment,
horrendous.
that's really, really bad. But that's like saying a bad joke at a dinner table.
Yeah.
Or say at one of your really good gigs with James Martin, suddenly you go, "Hey, have you heard the one about the stripper?" And he's going, "What?"
and
it's just
think,
knowing your place and what to say at the right time.
And that speaks a credit to you that you've got the emotional intelligence to understand what it is we're trying to say. Because
100%
not many people behind that DJ box would go, "Mate, what are you telling me what not to play that song for?"
Yeah.
What are you on about?
I think it is important, but getting back to what I just said, I do, agreeing with you a little bit, I do agree that you do need to listen. So if someone says, "Dude, this really isn't working, could you change it to this?"
Yeah.
I suppose it's also the way you would tell the DJ as well, you know.
And that's a good point. Delivering that message in the right way rather than
the same way if the DJ went up
DJ's
to the security and said, "You saw that guy out now." But if I said, "Look, I'm getting a bit of hassle from this. Could you possibly just have a word with him or something like that, or her?" You know. Yeah. But it's a weird way. I do believe as well that the other thing that's important from the DJ angle and from the security angle is that, you know, I know a lot of DJs that wouldn't dare take a request. They just go, "I only play," and it's like, I'm obsessed. We talked about this before. I love New Kids on the Block and New Edition and Bobby Brown. Yeah. But I can't play them all night.
No.
You know, that's why I play when I go running or in my car or whatever.
Yeah. Not all night long.
All night long.
Sorry.
Lionel Richie. Yeah.
Oh, very good.
Very, very good.
Very good.
That would have fitted if I'd said Lionel Richie.
Similar type.
It is sort of similar type, yeah. But my point is, mind you, weirdly, all night long you can almost drop that. That is a song you can play.
Is it?
Almost any. Yeah, that's
ABBA as well, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, Billy Ocean you can definitely stick in most places. There's some things that do go around all the generations.
And there's a lot of people who are of the next generation that are going to be listening to this who have no idea of any of the artists we've just named.
Oh, they will. There's no one that doesn't know. Oh, they won't know New Kids on the Block.
No, they won't know them.
They won't know them.
Well, they know Billy Ocean.
But they will know Billy Ocean. They will know Lionel Richie. But
they'll know Lionel Richie.
But my point is that if someone from, I'll say the audience, but from the public comes up and goes, "Have you got this Have you got this song? Have you got Blurred Lines?" And a lot of the time, because I never decide what song I'm playing until the last minute, I literally trust in my intuition that much. And even if I haven't got it, I can guarantee somebody's going to come up and say something. I go, "Bang on, you're right," because we're in it together.
Yeah.
We're in this together.
That's powerful. That's it.
We are in this together. Same way with the security. Security goes, "What about this?" And you go, "Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right." In fact, you did it once when we were at Havana. I was working once, and you were at Havana, and you said, "Can you play Angel by Shaggy?"
That's just because I wanted to listen to it, though.
Yeah.
But the fact that you wanted to listen to it, there's a vibe going on that made you want to listen to it.
Exactly.
So it's that journey.
Those are the type of music that put smiles on people's faces. And actually, there's a time for that.
That's a nice song. Yeah.
And,
it's a nice song, but at the wrong time, it might not work. But it did work in that moment. And it was. But it's weird how I remember that.
I don't.
Weird, strange, isn't it?
My memory's shot to pieces.
You just drank too much when you were doing security. He didn't drink at all. I think they saw me drinking behind the DJ booth a lot more, I think, to be honest.
So yeah, all the way from the Cornish Bakehouse to here.
To here. Are we called, they know it's the Foundry. It is, yeah.
The
Foundry and Paul. Foundry and Paul.
What a place.
Yeah.
What a place.
It is impressive, isn't it?
Thank you for coming on the Shift Handover.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Shift Handover.
Shift Handover.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Shift Handover. My name's Alan Turner Ward. Hello. Yeah, pleasure, man. Thank you so much for having me, both of you. I'm such a fan of both of you as well.
Oh,
this is really
thank
good.
you, Alan.
I tell you what, I've got to say this because I remember you phoning me probably about, it wasn't even a month ago, was it? Just asking some advice on what to do about a podcast.
Yeah.
And Mark, I think you can relate to this. Sometimes people ask advice.
Yeah.
You give them about maybe half an hour to an hour on the phone, and they 2 years later you say, "What happened to that?"
Yeah, they do nothing with it.
Didn't really. And within a month, he's here doing it.
Exactly.
So, half five.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah.
This is a joint venture.
Yeah,
I know. And you were set on having Mark.
Yeah,
you said that on the phone. He was set on having you do it with him. So
no, it's working well. It's working well.
I'm really excited to see the next step. So yeah.
Well, you're a big part of it now.
You are.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can't wait to
Thank
see
you
the
for having
shorts.
Yeah.
And
if there's anyone who is upset with Alan or angry with Alan or has any issue with Alan, that's nothing.
He's nothing to do with us. Nothing to do with us.
It's been a pleasure.
We're not going to be his security. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. And for all of you coming into the industry, stay safe.